Good morning, students. In this session, we are going to see a topic on from the subject hybrid and electric vehicle technology from the unit 1, and the topic is transmission characteristics. The transmission system for an electric vehicle includes a gearbox which produces a different rotation ratio between a drive motor and drive wheels. During the run of electric vehicle, a differential which serves to absorb a power of gearbox to overcome the rotation speed difference between the drive wheels. The two wheel axle which are used to deliver the power to drive wheels from differential. The gearbox has a housing which is connected to a vehicle frame of the electric vehicle via a universal coupling. It is a manual transmission hybrid transmission system. The only one hybrid vehicle sold in US with a manual transmission system was the 2000 Honda Insight. The manual transmission do not work with hybrids as they must remain in gear as the vehicle is slowing down. To gain the full advantage from the regenerative braking system, the driver need to keep the clutch applied while slowing down so that the engine could not be driven by the driving line while the motor generated electricity. Light and mild hybrid. The electric motor or generator is connected to engine, crankshaft on a light or mild hybrid. This allows a conventional automatic transmission to be used. During regenerative braking system, roller clutches that normally allow the transmission to freewheel must be locked out. The torque converter clutch must remain applied for the driveline torque to be transferred to the crankshaft. This is a diagram for light and mild hybrid. In order for a motor or generator to receive torque from the driving line during regenerative braking system, the torque converter clutches and the overrunning clutches must be remained locked. To reduce the engine drag and maximize regenerative braking system, some deactive cylinders during braking. It is a conventional automatic transmission system. A vehicle it has a start and stop function needs to be able to keep the transmission in gear and ready to accelerate the motion the gas pedal is depressed. The electrically driven hydraulic pump on the transaxle keeps the hydraulic pressure applied to the clutches inside the transmission during the engine stop mode. Continuously variable transmissions are ideal for mild hybrid applications. The CVT transmissions are metal belt and pulley to transmit power through an infinite number of gear ratios. The continuous vehicle transmission allows the engine RPM to stay at a constant speed as the vehicle accelerates and deaccelerates. It is a mild hybrid CVT. A mild hybrid often used for a mechanical type system to optimize the fuel economy. The gear reduction is accompanied by multi-link steel belt running between the two pulleys. The only gears used inside the transaxial drive, reverse gear, are used to transfer a torque from the output pulley to the differential. It is a graph for acceleration RPM is mileage per hour. It is a transmission diagram. A CVT transmission uses a belt running between the two adjustable pulleys to achieve an infinite number of gear ratios. It is a CVT pulleys. It has a two cones. That is, one is a fixed cone and it's a moving cone. The distance between the cones can be adjusted by the hydraulic cylinder. The input pulley, there is an input pulley and output pulley. In input pulley, to maintain a belt tension, the output pulley must mirror the change in input pulley. But in output pulley, when the spacing between the cones of the input pulley becomes smaller, the spacing between the cones of the output pulley must become larger by the same amount. It is a gear ratio. The gear ratio is 2:5:1. And for the maximum overdrive 0.4 ratio to 1. It is a CVT drive belt The belt is made up of 100 of T-shapes links that are held together by two highly flexible steel bands. Unlike a rubber V-belt, the metal belt transfers power by pushing through the belt, not by pulling. This is a diagram for drive belt and pulleys. CVT pulley actuator. The hydraulic piston applies pressure to the moving cone. The piston is held inside the bore by spring tension. As the hydraulic pressure increases, the moving cone is forced into a fixed cone. Transmission, there is a low gear and between there is a gear, and it is a drive pulley and driven pulley. The transmission changes ratios by adjusting the spacing between two cones, the form of V pulley. From the two cones together effectively increase the diameter that the belt conducts. Moving the cones apart effectively decreases the pulley diameter. It is a transmission entire diagram. It consists of flywheel, reverse planetary, belt, input drum and output drum, and the starting clutches, differential and the valve body. Starting clutch. It consists of a flywheel and damper, starting clutch and the starting clutch solenoid and the TCM. The Honda CVT transmission system. Reverse gear. A reverse can be accomplished with two methods. The electronic CVT, next topic. The electronic CVT transmission uses two electric motor generates and the planetary gearrest at the torque combining devices. Two types of electronic CVT. The first one is a Toyota single mode system used in a Toyota, Ford, Nissans, and the dual mode hybrid system that are used in a BMW, Benz and the General Motors. The first one is a single mode CVT. The torque combining device. The single mode hybrid CVT uses a planetary gear set to combine a torque from an IC engine and two electric motors or generators. Planetary gear set. It is the individual element of the planetary gear set can be output, input or held. How the elements are driven or held determines what gear ratio and direction of ratio is produced. It consists of ring gear, planetary carrier and the sun gear. It is an assembly of the planetary gear set. In single mode transmission, ring gear connects to the final drive and also connect the MG2 and rotates even when the vehicle is in motion. But in planetary carrier connected to the engine crankshaft and it rotates whenever the engine is running. It is effectively held whenever the engine is not running. But in sun gear connected to the motor generator 1 and the sun gear and the motor generator 1 determines the gear ratio and vehicle speed. It is a diagram for single motoring system. These are the operating modes of the IC engine and the motor generator and the motor generator 2. It is a Toyota single mode transaxle diagram. It is a controlling system for the transmission systems. It is a single mode inefficiency at highway. A single mode system is less efficient at a highway speed than a conventional transmission. At a highway speed, the motor generator 2 generates electrical and the motor generator 1 uses the electrical to produce the power. In this process, 20% of overall energy produced by motor generator 2 is lost to the heat in the motor and in the inverter. It is a dual mode system. It consists of 3 planetary gear sets and 4 multiple disc clutches. The dual mode system has a damper unit and does not use a torque converter. The damper drives an oil from a high speed operation. An electric driven oil pump is used for a low speed operations. The 3 planetary gear set. The 2 electric motors are connected to the element of the front and the center planetary gear sets. It is a 4 hydraulic clutches diagram. Input split mode. In the input split mode, functions like a single mode of the Toyota system. The two electric motors provide a torque from the low speed operation and the power of the IC engines can be combined with the two motor to provide a maximum torque for accelerations. Under operation, electric operation, motor generator 1 acts as a generator and the motor generator 2 acts as a motor. Input split mode uses the first and second gear fixed gear ranges. The input split mode usually functions at a speed between 0 to 30 mileage per hour. It is a compound split mode. The compound split mode provides a greater efficiency than input split mode at highways. When running in compound split mode, the electric motors can kick in whenever additional torque is required, and when the vehicle is running in compound split mode, the electric vehicles can be turned off. It is a diagram for dual mode systems. It also uses the adaptive fuel management and late intake valve closing. It is a dual mode system for front wheel system. It is a forward dual mode transaxle is designed for a small XUVs and full size car powers by a V6 engines. Thank you.